You hear that? That faint roar in your chest? That ache that refuses to be ignored? That's not just hunger. That's the primal call of something raw and untamed. Something the world has tried to beat out of you, and look at you now, sitting there, pretending you don't feel it, pretending it's not there. You smother it with excuses, drown it in distractions, but it never goes away, does it? It's the last honest thing you've got left in this lying, crumbling world. And you're running from it, scared of what it might demand from you. You cling to comfort like it's some come through with your executioner. It's the blade slicing away your edge, turning you soft, making you weak. Look around, what do you see? People rotting in their little bubbles of mediocrity, their eyes dull, their souls empty. They've traded their fire for the illusion of safety. And you're trying to join them. You're better than that. At least you used to be. I can feel it. Buried beneath all that fear and self-pity, there's a spark there, shred of what you were meant to be. But you're letting it wither, letting it die while you sit here, hoping the world will hand you something it never will. You think safety is going to save you? It's the poison killing you slowly. Pathetic. That's what you've become. You used to have claws, teeth sharp enough to rip through anything in your way. Now you're a shadow of what you were, begging for scraps instead of taking what's yours. You've let them leash you, tame you, strip you of everything that made you dangerous. And for what? Approval? Acceptance? You make me sick. That hunger inside you, it's still screaming, you know. It's clawing at you, begging you to stop lying to yourself. But you shove it down, bury it under comforts, distractions, anything to keep from hearing it. You're a coward, afraid of the fight, afraid of the pain. You've locked yourself in a cage and thrown away the key. And here's the truth. Whether you want to hear it or not, you're wasting away. Every second you hesitate, every moment you let fear control you, you lose another piece of yourself. That hunger, that fire, it's the only honest thing you've got left. It's the only thing in this world that won't lie to you, but you've turned your back on it, betrayed it, and now you're paying the price. You faint, you're living, you're surviving. Barely. And the worst part, you know it. You know you've let yourself rot. You've traded your hunger for comfort, your fire for mediocrity, and now you're stuck. Stuck in this cycle of weakness, this endless spiral of excuses. But it doesn't have to end like this. That hunger, it's still there, waiting for you to wake up, to remember who you are. It's not your enemy, it's your weapon, your ally, your salvation. It's the only thing that can drag you out of this pit you've dug for yourself. The world doesn't care about you. The people you're so desperate to impress, they don't give a damn. They'll use you, chew you up and spit you out the moment you stop being useful. You're nothing to them, just another cog in their machine. But when you embrace the hunger, when you let it consume you, you become something they can't ignore, something they can't control. That's what terrifies them. A man with hunger in his soul is unstoppable. He's willing to do what others won't, to go where others can't. And You've got that in you. I know it before I see you. But seems to cost you so much. But you're too scared to let it out. You've let fear chain you, let doubt strangle you. You think you know hunger. You don't have a clue. Hunger isn't just a growl in your stomach. It's a roar in your chest, a blaze in your veins. It's the drive that keeps you up at night, the force that drag you out of bed before the sun even thinks about rising. It's what separates the weak from the unstoppable. But you've silenced it. You've buried it under comfort, under fear, under excuses. And look at what it's cost you. You're a spectator in your own life, watching while the world moves on without you. Everything you could have had, everything you could have been, it's slipping away. Pathetic, that's what you are. And unless you wake up, unless you let that hunger consume you, that's all you'll ever be. The choice is yours. Stay weak, stay soft, stay nothing. Or unleash the beast inside you. Let it tear through the chains holding you back. Let it remind the world what you're capable of. Because once you embrace that hunger, once you let it shape you, there's no going back. You'll become something they fear, something they can't ignore. And that's when you'll truly start to live. And if there's even the smallest ember still burning inside you, you owe it to yourself to fan those flames. You owe it to yourself to rise from this pit, to claw your way out with everything you've got. Because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. It's you against the world. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll stop wasting time. Do you think greatness comes easy? Do you think the legends, the ones you look up to, sat around waiting for permission to be extraordinary? No, they fought for it. They bled for it. They burned every ounce of weakness out of themselves until there was nothing left but strength and hunger. They didn't make excuses. They didn't blame their circumstances. They didn't beg the universe for mercy, and neither can you. Look around you. This world isn't built for the weak. It chews them up and spits them out without a second thought. Every time you let yourself slip, every time you choose comfort over growth, you're feeding that machine. You're giving it permission to grind you into dust. Is that what you want? To be forgotten? Another face in the crowd? Another nameless soul who never lived up to their potential? Or do you want more? Do you want to break free, to tear yourself apart and rebuild something stronger? Because that's the only way. There's no shortcuts, no easy paths. Every step forward comes with pain, with sacrifice. But that pain, that's where the power lies. That's where the transformation happens. You've been running from it for too long, hiding behind distractions, numbing yourself to the true. But deep down, you know it's there. You feel it every time you're alone. Every time the noise fades and all you're left with is that voice in your head whispering, "You're meant for more." You can't ignore it forever. You can't keep pretending that this hollow existence is enough. It's not, and it never will be. You're starving for something real, something that will set your soul on fire and remind you what it means to be alive. And the only way to find it is to embrace the struggle, to let it break you down and show you what you're really made of. You have to fight for it, every single day. No excuses, no hesitation. Because the moment you stop fighting, the moment you settle, you lose. The world doesn't owe you anything. It never did, and it never will. But you owe it to yourself to stop pretending. Stop lying. Stop running. The hunger inside you isn't your enemy. It's your weapon. It's your guide. And if you learn to trust it, to follow it, there's nothing you can't achieve. You've been playing small for too long, letting fear hold you back, letting doubt whisper in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not strong enough. But you are. You've always been, you just forgot. So here's your wake-up call. No one else is going to give it to you. No one else is going to tell you what you need to hear. Stop wasting time. Stop waiting for permission. Get up. Get moving. Remember who the hell you are. The world is out there waiting for you to take it. But you have to want it. You have to be willing to fight for it. And you have to do it now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Now. Because if you don't, that hunger inside you, that fire, will die. And once it's gone, you'll never get it back. You'll fade into nothing. Just another lost soul who let the world break them. But if you choose to fight, if you choose to embrace the hunger, to let it consume you and drive you forward, you'll become unstoppable. You'll become the monster you were always meant to be. And no one will be able to stand in your way. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep lying to yourself? Keep pretending you're content with this empty, meaningless existence? Or are you going to wake up, rise up, and take what's yours? The choice is yours. But know this, the clock is ticking. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. And the longer you wait, the harder it'll be to come back. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop hiding. Get out there and show the world what happens when a hungry man decides to take it all. I see it, buried under the weight of your excuses, hidden beneath the fear you wear like armor. It's faint, but it's still there, waiting for you to stop running, to stop hiding and let it burn. But let me be clear. This won't be a walk in the park. It'll tear you apart, strip you down to your rawest self. It's going to force you to look in the mirror and face the parts of you that make you flinch. You're going to have to stop numbing yourself. Stop pretending the pain isn't real. Because pain is your compass. It's the sharp edge of truth carving away the lies you've clung to for so long. You've spent your life trying to quiet it, to drown it out with distractions, with comfort. But comfort is a prison. It chains you to mediocrity, makes you believe the soft whispers of safety are worth more than the roar of greatness. Look around you. They're all trapped in the same cycle, soft, content, pretending the void doesn't exist, but it does. You feel it, don't you? That ache deep in the chest, gnawing at your insides, screaming for more. You've ignored it for too long, and it's killing you slowly. Piece by piece, you've let it strip away the fire you used to have. The one that made you different, untouchable. There was a time you didn't care about fitting in, about being liked. You were ruthless, hungry, unstoppable. But now? Now! You've traded that edge for their approval, their shallow smiles. And for what? A pat on the back? A few fleeting moments of acceptance? That's what you sold your soul for? Don't fool yourself into thinking you've gained anything. All you've done is betray yourself. The world doesn't reward the weak. It preys on them. Chews them up and spits them out. The strong? The strong don't ask for permission. They don't wait for approval. They take what's theirs without apology. But you've been playing small, playing scared, clinging to the illusion that you can have it both ways, that you can keep one foot in the fire and the other in the safety net. Newsflash, you can't. You've got to pick a side. Either you commit to the hunger, let it fuel you, drive you, or you let it consume you from the inside out. There's no middle ground, no safe space where you can hide from it. The emptiness you feel, it's not going anywhere. It's not something to fix or avoid. It's your calling. It's the one thing pushing you toward the life you know you were made for. But you've been running from it, scared of what it might demand of you, scared of who you might have to become to answer it. Well, let me tell you something. The person you are right now isn't enough. That version of you, it's weak, it's small, it's built on lies and excuses. To become who you're meant to be, you have to let that part of you die. That's the truth, and no one else will tell you. The world isn't here to coddle you, to pat you on the head and say, "Good job." It's here to test you, to see if you've got the guts to claw your way to the top. And right now you don't. Not yet. But you could. That fire, it's not gone. It's buried, smothered by all the crap you've piled on top of it. You need to dig it out, stoke the flames, let it burn hotter than it ever has. You need to embrace the hunger, let it strip away all the weakness, the fear, the lies. Because hunger doesn't lie. It doesn't care about your feelings or your excuses. It only cares about one thing, winning. You want to stay safe, stay comfortable? Fine. But don't you dare whine about the life you're stuck in. Don't you dare blame anyone but yourself. You made the choice to settle, and every day you keep making that choice, you're proving that you're not ready for greatness. But if you're done with excuses, if you're ready to stop running, then it's time to wake up. You're not built to live like the rest of them. Comfort isn't your destination. And satisfaction? It's a lie they sold you to keep you tame. You're supposed to be asterisk, starving, asterisk, starving for more, relentless in pursuit. You think life owes you something? You think success is waiting on your doorstep with a bow? No. You've got to snatch it. You've got to rip it from the jaws of those who don't deserve it. You've got to claw, fight, and bleed for it, no matter how ugly it gets. The fire inside you, it's there for a reason. It's not a mistake. It's not something to smother. It's your weapon, and it's time you learn how to wield it. But you've been running from the hunger. Running from the darkness that makes you powerful. They told you to fear it, didn't they? They said you need harmony, calmness. Harmony? That's a chain. calmness, that depth. Balance is their way of keeping you weak. They want you docile, controllable. But the only thing that's real, the only thing that matters, is the hunger that won't let you rest. Stop looking for peace. Stop chasing their version of happiness. You need to wake up. You need to feel the burn, the drive, the aching void inside that tells you there's more out there, more for you if you're bold enough to take it. Look at me. Look into the blackness. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm not here to pat you on the back and tell you it's okay to stay soft. I'm here to rip the mask off, to strip away the lies. Underneath it all, you're not some fragile little thing. You're not a victim. You're a predator, a hunter. But you've forgotten how to bare your teeth. You've caged the beast inside you for so long you don't even recognize it anymore. I'm here to set it free, to let the hunger loose. Stop holding it back. Stop trying to leash it. Let it burn through you. Let it consume every excuse, every fear, every limitation, because until you do, you're going to stay stuck. Stuck in this pathetic rut, watching others grab what could have been yours. You're standing at the edge, staring into the void, trembling. You're afraid to take that step, afraid to lose control. But listen to me. That void isn't here to destroy you. It's here to transform you. It's not the enemy. It's where you're supposed to be. The darkness isn't here to crush you. It's here to forge you. Stop resisting it. Stop running from it. Lean into it. Let it sharpen you. Let it strip away the weakness. Because the truth, you'll never be satisfied. You'll never feel full. That hunger inside isn't a curse. It's your compass. It's what separates you from the sheep around you. They've given up. Look at them. Complacent, dull, waiting for life to hand them scraps. Too scared to demand more. You're not them. You are never meant to be. You're meant to rise above, to dominate, to take what's yours without apology. And the only way you're going to do that is by feeding the hunger, by letting it drive you forward no matter how much it hurts, no matter how dark it gets. Hunger is your only ally in this fight. It's the one thing that will never betray you, never abandon you. It's the only thing you can trust, so stop silencing it. Stop burying it under their lies. Let it out. Feed it. Let it guide you. Because if you don't, you'll get exactly what you deserve. Nothing. No success, no glory, no purpose. Make a choice, right here, right now. Are you going to keep running? Keep hiding? Keep making excuses for why you're not enough? Or are you going to step up? Step into the darkness, embrace the hunger, and become the monster you were always meant to be?